If you've been hearing words like, menu engineering, and I mean, obviously I love that term because my background is in engineering. However, you've heard these fancy terms and you want to wonder how am I going to engineer my menu for maximum profits? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about your pricing strategy, especially in light of inflation that's affecting us all. Howdy, my name is Hangam, and my husband and I, we own restaurants here in the San Antonio area. And on this show, Making Dough Show, we talk about making dough, of course. And if that's a topic you're interested in, management, growing your sales, everything in between, the staffing, the fun stuff, customer service, be sure to subscribe to this show so we can stay in touch. Now, let's talk about your menu and let's get after it. Here's the fact. Your prices are increasing, whether you're buying from Cisco, Benny Keith, whoever, all of the, US foods, all of them. Everybody's prices are increasing when it comes to our food cost. And we must, if you've not taken this seriously, we must have a strategy in place already when it comes to our menu pricing. The first tip I have for you, and you already know it was coming, and everybody's going to tell you that, and I'm not the first one to tell you, and that is you need to know your numbers. You need to know exactly how much each dish on your menu is costing you. It doesn't matter if it's a bowl of fettuccine alfredo with chicken. It could be a 16-inch pepperoni pizza. It doesn't matter what the dish is. You need to know how much it's costing you, because when you're observing it based on how much you're charging them, you need to have a basic understanding of each plate on your menu, how much it is costing you. Now, we can very, very easily complicate this topic and come up with formulas, and we can do all of that. That's fine. But I'm telling you, if you have not done this before, it starts with all you need is a scale and a piece of paper that you're going to import everything, put everything in a spreadsheet and a Google sheet. It's free and it's out there, and you should be using it on a daily basis. If you've never done this before, you choose every single dish. It could be an order of wings. You got to love that. Wings is expensive, as you know. An order of wings in our restaurant, an order of wings comes with 10 wings. So first off, what are all the items involved? Obviously, it goes into a box. Think about it in a to-go experience, which is going to be slightly more expensive than maybe dining experience for the food costs. So that's what we're going to base everything on. So the box, the wings, there's a grease paper in it. Write all of those stuff down again in a spreadsheet. We put a 2-ounce cup ranch in it. So I have a 2-ounce cup, 2-ounce lid, 2 ounces of ranch. So you need to get all the pricing of everything in here. And I forgot about the sauce, of course. There is a sauce that goes with it, and we're going to get all of that. So you're going to look at how much is a case of wings. An order of wings is $100. It gives how many orders, and out of one case, it's 20. So based off of that, how much is costing 10 wings is costing you this much. You need to, this is basic algebra math. You need to already know every single dish on your menu, how much it costs you, so we can compare it to how much you're charging to know where we're going. Start with 5 dishes every single day for the next week, and you will have every single menu item on your thing. Keep it simple. Put everything on a spreadsheet. When it comes to pricing strategy, there is a lot of psychology involved. One of the tips I have for you is to study your competition. We have a spreadsheet in a Google folder where I look at our pricing kind of strategy, where I have a tab with all of our menu items, and then I have the other pizzerias in our 3 to 5 mile radius, a few of the chain, a few of the local ones, and I study and observe their prices, things that are kind of compare. An order of wings, a 16-inch pepperoni pizza per topping, how much are they charging per size? How much are they charging? Maybe different desserts. So I have all of that in a spreadsheet that I can refer to every 6 months to compare where are we and how are they increasing their prices. This is important for awareness purposes. I'm not saying that you're going to copy their prices or anything. You need to be aware that they're increasing it. Maybe needs to give you a hint. For instance, as I was looking at all of our pricing, I went into, Domino's websites, try to place an order to just compare it again, blah, 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 one topping, no topping, different stuff like that. And I tried to order it for delivery, testing it. And I realized, wait a minute, they're charging $4.45 for their delivery where we're at. And then I'm like, wait a minute, let me check everybody else's. Pizza Hut, $5 for their delivery, and Marco's Pizza. I checked all the franchise around. I was like, we are charging $2.99 for delivery fee, and we have not increased it in 5 years. So maybe actually 8 years. We've never increased that. We've always charged $2.99 for our delivery. It's outrageous. So that led me to look into our own numbers, and I'm like, wait a minute, every week we're, having 300 deliveries. If I were to increase it to 445, matching Domino's and their delivery fee, right? What's going to be the impact on our sales? What's going to be the impact on whatever? And considering the gas prices, if you've not increased that one, it's something to look into. The third tip I have for you, that you need to be selective in when you're increasing your prices and your strategy. For example, we're going through inflation and prices are increasing. So instead of increasing, for example, for us, we're in the pizza business, get the idea how you can implement it on your side. And that is, chicken is expensive. Bacon is very expensive. Onion is not that expensive. There was a time we had all of our toppings were the same price that we charged for bacon or onions. So we went in there, you know what? We don't need to increase all of our pricing where people can't feel like they can't eat out anymore or at our restaurant anymore because all of our prices are really expensive. What rather selective way of increasing. So maybe you increase this dish or that dish or certain toppings, certain add-ons, and give people some options. So if they still want to come out and have a pizza, maybe with some veggies or the classic pepperoni, they can still enjoy it at your restaurant. Know your low cost food items, because you need to know on your menu what are the ones that have the lowest profit margin and what are the ones that have the highest profit margin, because you need to be observing your strategy for your prices, looking at both side of the spectrum. Now you also need to have a strategy in place once you've identified the high profit margin ones. How are you going to come up with maybe combo deals? How are you going to talk about those items and create visuals on social media for people to be like, you know what, I'm going to try their Zeppole donuts, which is a really high profit margin food item. Maybe we do combo deal. Maybe we do upselling contests on those items. So you need to know your high profit and your low profit food items for your pricing strategy. Last but not least, remember to always give people options. We went to this very fancy steak place once, a local, very good restaurant. And the owner was sharing with us that, his strategy with their menu. And one of the things that he mentioned, which it didn't occur to me, is that, no matter what kind of a steak place you go to, they're always going to have a burger option. And that burger option, they're not charging $30 for a burger. You usually don't, get that, though the steak can be expensive. However, you can always have a burger. It's about 10 to 15 bucks. You can have a very good cheeseburger at a steak place. So make sure that people, if they choose to come to your restaurant, you are giving them options. As you're looking into your menu, you're like, you know what? The inflation is going up, prices are increasing and things are going crazy. Make sure you have, if you have 4 appetizers, maybe you get that one order of breadsticks that is the cost for it is cheap. It's high profit margin. Don't be too greedy. At least, let's leave an appetizer that's $4, increase the other ones. So if people need to have options, you're giving them an option. Remember that times are tough for everybody, and we want to make sure people continue to come to our restaurants so we can continue to pay our bills and our staff and everything in between. What is your pricing strategy as we going through this next phase in the season of a post-pandemic affair with your restaurant? If you're watching on YouTube, comment below. I would love to hear your comments. I'll read every single one of them. And be sure to subscribe. And if you're on the podcast zone listening to this show, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Be sure to leave us a review. You can always send me an email to makingdough@gmail.com. So if there's any questions you have, I'll be happy to cover it on the show. With that, let's get back to work and make some dough. Thank you. Bye-bye.